depression is such a strong thing to deal with. So those who are actually dealing with it, props to you guys because it's not easy to get over. Um, Even me myself, I feel like I still haven't fully gotten over it. If you're in a marriage with no love, is
It's
that even
like
really a marriage?
it's like food without salt,
Exactly. It's like
Right.
food without chicken without seasoning. Growing up, people pleaser. Is it so bad to want to actually help yourself at some point? Because I feel like if I was to stay in it, I feel like I'd be like somebody who's dead inside.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Abubakar Experience. And today I have someone here. His name is Mo Katz. By the name Cutz, he does a haircut, He's a barber. He was born and raised in San Diego. So today we're just gonna chat with him and see what he has to say. What's good, Mo?
How we doing, man? It's great to be here. Pleasure's all mine. First time for everything, and I'm just happy to be here. Honestly, it's definitely a great experience. Something to definitely broaden my horizons in like so many different ways. So the fact that I'm even here today is a blessing itself.
Have you ever thought that you're gonna be in a podcast one day?
Honestly, no, not really.
Yeah.
Did I ever see myself? Not at all. Because at the end of the day, I just saw myself as, just the barber, just the guy, who delivers smiles and, just good cuts all around and, just basically helps people keep their days going and stuff like that in many different ways.
Nice. Before we get into all that, I just want you to introduce yourself properly.
Okay. Well, obviously, my name is Mo Katz is my barber name. Mohammed is my official name, government name. Um, Everybody just calls me Mo Katz because it's my barber name, and I feel like every barber has to have a different, barber name in general. So I figured why not just do that. And like you said, born born and raised San Diego, and I honestly have been here most of my life. I have done multiple things, but I mean, this is definitely something that really stuck with me, and I would say that it definitely helped.
What is it? Are you talking about the barber?
Yeah, it definitely helped, like my career, just figuring out what I wanted to do. There's so many things I could have done. Even my family, they didn't expect me to go this route, but I'm here now today, and alhamdulillah, everything's great.
That's good. And talking about your family, yeah? What do your family expect you to do?
Man, what did my family expect me to do? Man, I'll be honest. They did not expect me to want to be a barber. They wanted to see me, go the generic route, go to school, just go up the ranks, elementary school, middle school, high school, then go to college, then graduate from college, get some type of degree in some sort of major aspect. And I ended up switching up that whole thing and just taking a whole different route. And I honestly couldn't agree more with what route I took.
Yeah, nice. Do you think education is important then?
Yes and no, depending on the person, right? So, say if you want to become like a doctor, for example, education is important because obviously let's say, any sort of doctor, they have to have certain knowledge on certain things. So, say when it comes to the knowledge of like a surgeon, obviously you have to have knowledge on it so that they can be able to know which procedure to do in the operating room. So on and so forth. There's so many different um electives, I would say.
Y- there's a myth that people say you have to get education for you to be able to be successful in life. Is that true?
I personally don't think so because, well, education in itself is just something to really broaden your horizons. When you're in school and you're learning, you don't just learn one thing, right? You learn multiple things. Why? So that your brain can take its course and allow it to just venture out and to learn different things. Because I mean, if you just say, "Oh, you're in school to be what? Cop, lawyer, what else? Surgeon, any sort of kind of entrepreneurship or whatever the case may be, that stems from just having an education in general. So I feel like that is how I feel personally.
Right. And talking about family, yeah,
Okay.
most of the families think that if you get education, it's better for you for your future. And personally, bro, I don't think education is important, because these people who really studied and they have everything that they need to get high position on the jobs, or good jobs, but they don't have that. But the people who didn't go to school, who are like literally didn't graduate, are the ones who are hiring them. And I feel like life is unfair, You might spend a lot of time getting education just for you not to be able to, like, get the career you need. And just that, I feel like, yeah, education is not important. As long as you know what you're doing in life and you have basic knowledge on what you want in life, then I don't think education is important. What do you think about that?
Man, you pretty much touched like everything that it had to be, honestly. I don't know if I could really add on to that, but I will say that I agree with you because at the end of the day, education is a base root. Like education is basically a foundation for you to venture out into other things. So I feel like a lot of times, like you said yourself, education, they say you need an education to do this or do that. And sometimes, yes, that is true. But in other words, sometimes someone who doesn't have an education could be more smarter than somebody who has an education. And it's crazy to think that you need an education. And that's honestly their mindset that they're told to keep that education in mind. And I feel like it's just kind of pointless in a way.
Right. So let's go back to you doing barbershop, right?
Okay.
Barbering. What is it about barbering that, pushed you into that?
What is it about barbering?
Yeah.
Man, when I tell you, barbering has definitely made me see a different version of myself than I thought I would. I mean it because I grew up around it. So my whole life, don't get me wrong, I have family members who are also barbers, and I guess you could say it kind of influenced me to do so as well. I mean, I was always intrigued about it. I mean, throughout high school, I would do things to just my hair in general. I would get like a pair of just like regular shaving razor and I would do my edge up with it or something like that. I'll do stupid things. I'll shave off my sideburns. I didn't care what I did at the moment. I just knew it was something that I was interested in, and look at me now. I mean, my work shows. And
Right. And truly, yeah, man. If you see my haircut too, this guy did it, This guy has magic hands, and you always have a good conversation, like with people. And I like how open you are.
Mhm.
Whenever I sit on your chair, bro, and we get to talk, I get a lot of information from you. And that's why I kind of know a lot about you and I don't know about you.
Yeah.
So for the people who are watching you right now, they want to
Okay.
know how was life you growing in California?
Man, life growing in California. I mean, I was pretty much here all of my life.
Where were you born, by the way?
I was actually born in ATL,
Oh, okay.
but I was born in ATL. But I pretty much left there when I was a little kid, like really little. So I don't remember anything from ATL. So basically, you can say I was born and raised in San Diego because that's all I know. My whole life I've been here. So my life in San Diego, definitely, um, it was amazing. I had so many different experiences. I mean, throughout schooling and meeting new friends, meeting new people in general, it definitely changes your way of thinking in so many different ways. And growing up, it was just, if it wasn't my friends, it was my family. And those are the two main things that I really will sit here and preach about my whole life. It's like my
Friends and
family has
family.
been, I'm a very family oriented guy. My mom, my dad, alhamdulillah, they've been married for over 43 years, alhamdulillah. And mashallah, I hope that one day, inshallah, that I get to have a long lasting marriage and that'll keep going forever,
Inshallah.
inshallah. And
43 years is not easy, man.
it's not,
You have to endure a lot.
yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a relationship though?
Shit, man. I don't know if um how should I say this? Yes, I have. I won't sit here and lie. I have, but in each, you know what I'm saying, during those like relationships, I definitely learned certain things within those relationships. You know what I mean?
So
And
what kind of relationship are you talking about?
what kind of relation?
Girlfriend,
Yeah,
best
like
friend, or you?
girlfriend.
Okay,
Like I've been in like maybe a few relationships. I mean, even though in Dean perspective, they say it's not technically allowed, boyfriend and
proceed.
girlfriend. Obviously, but there is such thing as getting to know somebody,
Oh,
and that's the approach I take. I don't plan on doing anything, bad in an aspect of the Dean. And I personally, obviously, I feel like in general, when you're getting in a relationship, you have to, obviously get to know somebody before you possibly marry. I know they say you can not really get to know somebody before marriage, but I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I just think there's a way that you can also still get to know them before marriage because let's say you get married to them and you getting to know them while you're married to them, something goes wrong. What are you gonna do? You gonna divorce? Divorce is not something you want to do. It's something that should be a last resort. It should be something that, you know, worst case scenario. Because at the end of the day, not a lot of marriages last nowadays, especially in this world that we live in today.
true,
A lot of marriages do not last. And I feel like that is because of the fact that they didn't get to know each other that well before they got married to them. And even then, sometimes they say, "Oh, you put in the front." They put up front. Each person, they'll only put their good sides apart. But in those good parts that they bring also like they're bad. It sneaks in whether they like it or not.
true.
You just have to bring it out.
You know,
Be
you
asked
you
certain
can't
questions
you can't hide your identity.
right there,
You
just
can
like that.
pretend to be someone that you're not, but it won't last long.
Hmm.
You can't live your whole life pretending to be someone you're not. Talking about relationship, I've seen people who been together for like 8 years, then they get married. The first year they divorced, and I've seen people who never met each other and they get married and they stay longer than you'll ever think.
Yeah, I feel like it's
So,
just different. It's
do you
depending on
think
the.
it's just maybe it's just luck, or it's just, what do you think?
I
Maybe
wouldn't
there is a
necessarily say it was luck,
mm,
but I mean it does have a percentage. I mean, nowadays, considering my aspect on it
same.
and how I've been dealing with it, I would say it's luck because, but that's just my perspective. But do I think it's in general luck?
Yeah.
No, because you also have to do that and get it through.
Like,
You have to work towards it. You have to whatever you want. You can't just get it. It's not gonna fall in your lap.
true.
You gotta follow through. You gotta keep it pushing, and I feel like that goes to anything in life in general.
Anything in life. You said something like, on my experience, right?
Yeah,
Can you tell us about your experience? What happened? Do you have
man.
something that you're hiding, bro? Looks like you have a lot, but you're not saying anything.
Listen, so when it comes to relationships, right? There's a I won't say too much, but let's just say like um I was in a relationship, right?
You was in a relationship.
Yes, I was in a
What kind of
relationship.
relationship again? I'm asking that.
It's like
Was you married? Were you married before?
yes, I was, but that is a different story.
Okay, so now what we're talking about right now?
We're talking about the relationship that I was in for like about 8 months.
Okay, take me through it.
Okay, so I was in a relationship for about 8 months. I was talking to this person who I've met online. It wasn't in person, so I mean, obviously there was no meeting up. There was no, it was just strictly just phone calls, video chats, just getting to know one another. And obviously, in that relationship, I developed deep feelings, and I kept going through. But because of some of the past things that has happened to me, it caused that relationship to go south.
What happened to you, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it's just uh, you know, people, man, people talk. So people get so for example, some people will get somebody's head, and they'll say, this is basically pretty much what happened, actually. Someone basically got in her head and basically not, it's not convincing her to change up or whatever, but sometimes when you get too much of something in your brain and you keep telling yourself, oh, nah, forget it, forget it, forget it, it's a buildup. I feel like that's probably what happened, in my opinion. I don't know exactly because I'm not her, but I just know that she probably got an overload of information, because when I'm talking to somebody in general, I don't hold back.
Right.
Meaning
Yeah,
I
open up.
open up, not even just open.
Mm.
I feel like open is basically just the correct term,
Like,
but what I mean is, like, I basically put all cards on the table. I like to make sure that that person that I'm with, knows everything about me, that and set all the rules straight right then and there, foundations. Basically, make sure everything is basically checked off on the checklist.
right.
Imagine it's like a checkbook. You just check, 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 check. This
So did that relationship end or what happened?
It didn't. It ended after 8 months. Basically, just ended up with basically doubt. So she basically doubted a certain thing. Uh, Basically that the doubt was, just assuming that someone wouldn't like that person, preferably my family.
Mm.
Preferably assuming that my family wouldn't like a person
Mm-hmm.
because of the circumstances, like just because of what she supposedly have heard from people that been telling her things, right? But when you hear something, you it's one thing to hear it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't see it. It didn't happen to you. Did that person come and tell you? No, it didn't. It's a rumor. People gossip all over the world. There's behind closed doors, you may think, oh yeah, we're cool. Da da da. Behind closed doors, what are they doing? They talking smack. Why? Because it's rumors, it's gossip. Those things all exist.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you went off of a rumor and told yourself that my family wouldn't like you because of rumors that you have heard in the past, and you just let go, what does that really show?
True. And in the world we're living right now,
Mm-hmm.
people will look at you on what they hear, not on what they see, from
Yeah.
you. It's because, let's say, today, if I go to someone and say, yo, Mo is like this and this and this, that's the picture they can have in their life,
Yeah.
about you. So it's not easy to change that.
Of course.
But the thing is, sometimes you have to, like, go and do it yourself and learn this person,
Right.
is the things that they're saying true, or people are just making up stories. And that's why a lot of relationship and a lot of friendship and a lot of, like, people communicating ends because of someone else had something from someone.
Exactly.
It's not like something that happened to
Exactly.
them.
And it's just like, if you have a direct source into that supposed problem that you're hearing of, and he's telling you you're good, you're in good hands, I promise and I swear to you, nothing bad is going to happen to you because I will not allow that to happen myself. That should be more than enough for you to continue something. Why? Because that just shows you right then and there he's going to stick up for you no matter what. And if you got that one person that you love and care about sticking up for you, why do you need anyone else?
True.
You don't need anyone else at that point. Well, so what if someone said a rumor? So what if someone said this? So what if someone said that? Why does that matter? The one person you supposedly love is telling you you're good.
Did that relationship break you, or?
In a way, I would say it did for a while, because I just felt like after that I was like, I I thought that was like, I I thought that was the one.
Mm.
I thought that I wanted to marry that person. You
When
know?
you have expectation on things that you feel like
Yeah.
this is my person, and all of a sudden it doesn't work, I know it's gonna hurt you bad, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And how do you go about it after now?
What do you mean?
Like,
Like
what you,
recovery process?
yeah.
Man, recovery process was tough.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie. Like,
You was
you
in
go through
love, yeah?
mixed emotions.
Mm.
dude, I started realizing to myself that I get get like, emotion, like these waves of emotions that I've never felt before. I get emotions of like, I won't lie, nobody really knows this about me either. So the fact that I'm even saying this on podcast is pretty crazy.
Right.
Um, Sadness. I'll get sad. I get lonely. At the end of the day, we're all human.
True.
So I'm not afraid to admit. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody has their moments. They're not just gonna be happy all day and all that shit. Excuse my language. Uh,
Be free, man. I just want you to like say everything that you feel like, you know?
but honestly, it was such a hard thing to deal with, because when you expect something, how some people they say in like movies. I heard it in this one movie. I think it was the one of the Spider-Man movies. Expect disappointment, so you never be disappointed. I heard that, and I'm like, I can see where it's coming from
Okay.
because sometimes you would think you want to do that, right? But then you have that thought in your head where it's like, yo, if you expect disappointment, how you gonna get, like, how you gonna get somewhere in life? If you're expecting disappointment, like, you might as well, not do it.
Maybe to just tell you what it really means is in this world, whatever you do not expect everything to go your way. Just know that one day you will want this thing to happen this way, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
So of course you're gonna be disappointed
yeah,
because it didn't go your way, you know?
yeah.
And
But
that's how it's supposed to be
yeah, like, but not to expect it automatically, because then at that point, what if you block your blessings?
honestly, I also tell people just, in this world, just live expecting not everybody's gonna have your back because not everyone will want to help you up when you're down,
Right.
and that's really bad because we're living in a world where we have a lot of friends, but we don't have friends.
Fuck. Excuse the language.
Yeah. We have a lot of friends, but we don't have friends. You know what I mean by that?
Oh, what do you mean by that?
You have people close to you, but they're not as close as they think they are because you can't open up and tell them how you really feel,
Damn. It's like so many ways to think about it in a way,
Right. Have
And
you ever went to your friend and opened up, hey, bro, this is how I feel like, I've been going through a heartbreak or, I just, broke up with my girl and, I'm taking it slowly, but it's really like hurting me?
yeah,
Have you ever went to a friend and told them that?
yeah, plenty of times.
So, which means you have a good relationship with your friends.
Yes,
But I'm talking about people who have friends, but they don't have a
that good
shoulder to
relation.
lean to?
Damn. But then, can you really call them a friend if that's the
And that's
case?
the thing. That's the thing. That's what they say. These fake friends.
Yeah, but like,
Is this
why even have a fake friend at that point?
right? Is this the thing? Is there's a lot of people who are hurting just by themselves, even though they have a lot of people. Sometimes it's not even friends. You have family. You know. I remember when we was talking earlier. You was talking about being depressed, especially when you was going through college, right? Can you just dive in through that and try to explain to me?
Man, depression. It's it's kind of hard to explain it because depression happens to so many people and so many different ways. It can happen. It could be something that triggers it. It could be something that, in this case, it just when you have a lot going through your mind. That's kind of what happened to me. I had a lot going through my mind. I was in school at the time. I was in college, and I guess I would always like. I had my friends, and I guess I was going through a little something, and that's something that went through, it just kind of caused me to, possibly, I guess, have a different mindset, and then also the schooling thing. It was at the time. It was before I decided I wanted to be a barber officially. Um, schooling was hard, classes were hard, tests were hard. It was like all that testing and all that
Overwhelming for you.
overwhelming for me. That was just the testing part. Then there's the life part where it's, you know, you have a lot of things going on outside of schooling. When that stuff hits you in the head, plus the stuff that's already dealing with you, it kind of creates like an explosion. And you tell yourself, yeah, keep a smile on your face. You know, it goes a long way. It helps. You do that for so long, you start to realize it, you start to realize you get overloaded with so much stuff. Think of it like a sponge. What do when you put a sponge in water, it absorbs that water. And then what does it do when it gets too much absorbed? What happens? The water just starts coming out. Why? Because it's too much water that it absorbed. Think of it like a human. Like we're all human beings. When we absorb too much information, we can't retain all that information. Some of that information kind of um, goes somewhere else. We don't even recall where it went. And then you're
Right.
like, when you try to reach for it, you're like,
And that's the reason why I was telling you, when we have a lot going on, we need people to talk to, you know?
yeah,
And at that moment, you have someone to talk to about your depression or whatever you was going through.
yeah. I had a lot of people to talk to, but it's not just one person. Just so many different people.
And did that relieve you, or
In a way, it did.
so you
Like my
you're
mental. Like I
okay?
feel like after I spoke about it, like I was able to move on from it. It
Yeah.
helps you move on from it.
Okay.
But does sometimes speaking about it, it gets you far, but not far enough. You could speak about something that you're feeling in your mental, but will it change what's happening in reality? Will it change what it's doing to you? Will it change how you feel? No, because it's not a simple fix. These things take time.
True.
Time, even just like effort, like it takes a lot of your strength, your energy. It takes so much just to get rid of your mental problems because you talk about it. That's one step. Then you got to actually like figure out a way to move on. And by moving on, sometimes you might go through a hurdle or, like a crossing road. Then what?
You know.
There's never no way to. There's never no way to officially get over mental health like quick fix.
True.
But the thing I see as a quick fix, like equipment, that's a quick fix because you just buy a part. And you buy a part, fix that part, boom, 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 fix.
But we're human beings. We're not.
Exactly.
We're
That's
not,
what I'm trying to say.
cars or yeah.
My
With
message
the way
behind
we
that
deal with
was
emotion is different
exactly.
than let's say when your car breaks down,
Yeah.
you have an easy fix because maybe when you know what's the problem, you can just buy the part and you fix it, right? But when we're going through things in our life, it's just like the way we take it, you know?
Right.
You hearing your story right now, you seem like a person who talk. There's
Yes.
people who don't talk about their
Yeah.
depression. There's people who don't talk about what they're going through, you know? And I feel it gets too much for them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. I just want you like to be able like to talk to them and tell them what to do. Maybe something that is gonna help them, you know?
If I had to tell them what to do
Yeah.
to get over it,
Yeah.
my advice, man, to you guys, those who are watching, I will tell you guys that depression is such a strong thing to deal with. So those who are actually dealing with it, props to you guys because it's not easy to get over. Um, Even me myself, I feel like I still haven't fully gotten over it. But what I will say is, talking is one of the things I will say is help about it. Like your friends, your family. If it's not people that you truly trust, don't say anything to them.
And I'll just add on into it the way you said, you know,
Uh huh.
depression is something that a lot of people deal with it.
Yes.
But one thing that I can say is try to be away from people who cause your, you know, depression. Try to stay away from people who are always like bringing problem in your life because those are the people who are draining you slowly every day. And try to have a positive energy, you know, talk to people. And yeah, there's no way I can put out there, to tell people to not be depressed, because it's a phase that we go through, everyone, and all I can say is just be yourself. Don't think too much, don't think about things that are gonna, like, bring danger to you. Just have a positive mind, try to talk to people, try getting help, because I promise you, it takes time, but it ends.
Well spoken, my brother.
Yeah.
Shit, I ain't got no add on to that.
Right. You spoke about marriage.
Okay.
Now, can you tell me about your marriage, bro?
Man, see, that is a very, very touchy topic for me because some people might have a different opinion on that topic. So I will just speak from my perspective on what happened in my marriage. I mean, obviously, so for my marriage, it was very simple. I got married, I want to say at the age of 20 years old. Yeah, 20 years old, I got married.
Young, yeah?
Yeah, young.
Was it a love marriage? Or
No, it was not.
oh,
It was arranged. So,
arranged marriage?
yes, it was.
Ooh. Take us through it. How do you
Man,
get there?
how did I get there?
Yeah.
It's you know, so I'll give you guys a little backstory before we even get into that. Growing up my whole life, like I said, family oriented. I grew up with big family, mashallah. I got, two older brothers, three older sisters that whom I grew up with, and we were actually more before that. But a lot of history, like about some of them died, five of them, and some of them before I was born, because I'm the last born, I'm the youngest.
Yeah, may God rest their souls, right?
I mean, Kuligan, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like um, it was just such a tough time. I mean, it wasn't really tough at the time when I was a kid because I felt like everything was set. I had my simple, go to school, play with my friends outside, play basketball, soccer.
Yeah, life is
Yeah.
easy when you're
Life
young,
is
right?
easy when you're a kid. You
You
tell
wish you
yourself,
should go back to being a kid, or
man,
if you had a chance
when I was a
to,
kid,
yeah.
bro, I used to love being a kid because why? You get away with so much stuff.
Nice, and you don't have to worry about anything.
You don't have to worry about nothing.
The
It's
older you
just
get,
free.
the more responsibility you have,
Yeah.
and it's hard out there.
But it's so funny how when you are a kid, what do you want to do? When you're a
Play,
kid, you want to play, right?
have fun.
But there's not only that. What do we say in school usually? You go to school and they tell you, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Doctor,
A doctor,
engineer,
all that
it's
stuff,
crazy
right?
that we don't become that,
Right.
There's people who follow up, but most of the people, they don't. And it's life. We move on from it,
So what I was going with that was, you say, oh, when I grow up, I want to do this. When I grow up, I want that. We're so in a rush to grow up when we're kids that we don't realize the life that we left behind. Like, we left behind stress free. We left behind fun. We left behind just the vibes. Just just spending time with your family, smiles, laughter. Just staying close to Dinta. You has all this stuff. When you get older, it somehow does something to your mind, and it kind of steers you away from the aspect of the Deen. And I took me a while to realize, but yeah, that's really what happens when you're younger and you tell yourself you want to get older. So now it's like, damn, I do wish I could go back to being a
Right,
kid.
once time goes by, it never comes back. They say time is like a cloud, once it fades,
Yeah.
it's never,
So
coming
back
back.
to your question, I would go back. I would go back to being a kid again if I
Right,
could.
me too, man.
I would love to just avoid it.
Unfortunately, we
Like,
can't.
we can't. What can we
move
really do? You
forward.
know what I mean?
Right. So if you're still a kid, man, enjoy that moment.
Enjoy
It
that
never
moment.
comes back.
Stack up. Kids now, you see these kids getting their driver's license at 15, 16, 14. Yeah, but then in a way, it's like they're always in a rush to work. I mean, in a way, if I feel like if I was younger, I would have done that too. I feel like I would have worked. I would have probably tried to work. Why? Because then by the time I get older, it'd be different. You know what I mean? You'd be stacking by the time you're at the age that you're at right now.
True, but you don't know about your future
You
until it
don't know
happens.
until it happens. Yeah.
Right.
So, and we don't think of that because our mind is not in adult's mindset right then and there. We're still on kids.
True.
You don't want to grow up. We do want to grow up, but we don't want to grow up at the same time. What
So
happens? Puberty.
once puberty hits,
Yeah,
then
that's when
you
you're
start
like,
changing. You start
yeah,
becoming a different person.
yeah.
Talking about growing up in a family, you say you are like a family person.
Yes.
So let's go back there.
Okay, we'll go back to that. Okay, now that you said that, I obviously live my life, spend time with my family, and I love them to death. I love every single one of my family members, even those who marry into my family. I love them as well. They have done so much beneficial things for me as well. I thank every one of them, for what they have done for me,
Of course,
and I'm
family comes
cherished about it.
first.
So, growing up, family-oriented guy, what did I do? Play outside, go home, stay inside the house, play video games. Not much to really do in life, just
A kid just being a kid,
kid just being a kid. Then once I started to get around like say 16, 17, or maybe even earlier than that, I started to develop like a sense of responsibility because I deeply care for my parents. So my parents are like a little bit like my everything. They pretty much raised me to who I am today. I feel like if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have this much knowledge that I do today. And like I said, going back to that, their arranged marriage thing. So obviously, all I ever wanted to do was make my parents happy. Why? Because if they're happy, I will always love and care for them for that. They have such an impact on me, and I really would love to continue doing that as well, even today. Um, so going back to the arranged marriage, right? So after high school, then my mom was like, "Hey, you're grown up now, and what do you say, about possibly getting married?" So I'm like, "Okay, I do that." I'm like, "Well, I didn't say no, but I didn't say yes either
So it's
because
something that came from your mom.
yeah,
Your mom brought that up to you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, we were just pretty much sitting in the car. We're sitting in the car. I don't know if it was like a day of my graduation or after my graduation for high school. Just high school, by the way. Um, then obviously me being me, growing up, responsibility of making sure my parents were good. My parents' happiness was everything to me. So I was very much of what they call nowadays in the world people pleaser. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So at the time, pleasing others made me happy growing up.
Thinking that everyone's gonna like you,
Not even just that.
mm,
It wasn't just about everybody liking me. It was more so
to make people happy.
just to make people happy,
Right.
And growing up as well, I also had, my like, some of my friends that'll talk to me and they'll be like, "Wow, bro, you're really good at this. You're really good at like giving advice." And I was like, "Hey, don't thank me. Thank my parents."
Right.
Yeah. If it
Nice.
wasn't for my parents, they
The
give
rest
me
they good.
they're
And you're
really
talking good about them, which is shout out to them, by the way. You're talking
yeah.
very good about them, and it shows,
Yeah.
it shows what they have done to you,
Yeah.
the way you're talking.
Yeah. I mean, I remember in schools that I've went to, any school I've went to, as far as like when my parents were introduced to my teachers. Oh my God, we love your son. He's doing so good. You have such a smart kid, very genuine, kind, They would always amend my parents. They would always cherish them because they were like, "Wow, you guys raised a really good kid." And like for that I'm forever grateful for. Wallah,
Alhamdulillah.
alhamdulillah, bro. Thanks for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we go on to the arranged marriage part, which I keep deflecting from.
Right.
Okay.
Give us the story, man. We were waiting for that.
I know.
Tell
It's
us.
a build up. I promise. I promise. It's a
Loving
build
it.
up.
And I mean, you're taking us through it,
Yeah, I'm taking you guys through it. So I'm like, okay, you know, um, I'm basically she shows me the girl. I'm kind of like, the thing is, growing up, I had a hard, very, very, very hard time saying no. No was the most unlikely word for me to say.
A lot of people do
It's just
that,
like I was kind of like yes,
and
you know.
it's hard to
How
like.
hoya, how abo, markasta, hi, wakasta. Okay, well, okay, you know.
Right.
I understand. Well, moya, you know. I try to say things like that. Okay, you know. I don't like to say. I try to not to say I know as much because I don't know everything. Yeah, and they'll tell you that too. They'll be like, yeah, you don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you didn't even go through life.
True.
That's what your parents will tell you
That's
today.
what they say.
This is what they'll tell you today.
Yeah, but
So,
they want it to be seen like everything they say is right, you know. And sometimes not everything they say is right.
exactly.
Yeah, just because you're a parent doesn't mean that everything you say or everything you know is the right way, you know.
In a sense, yeah, but they go based off of experience. That's the
Mm.
thing with them.
It's how they grow up
How they
and
grew
what
up,
they seen,
culture.
so they wanna have the same thing to you too.
Exactly.
And that's, I don't think it work with our
Yeah,
like
I
generation
feel
right
like you
now.
kind of do need to have an
Mhm.
open mind. You
Mhm.
have to have an open mind because living in America today, some of these kids are not going to cut it. You know,
Right.
they're not going to go through that. Mashallah, like my parents, they were arranged for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So
And work.
my mom was like, okay, let's try to carry on the tradition,
Mm.
to me. And
And is
I
it like
had
a
a hard time.
Somali tradition or
No, it's
was
not so. I wouldn't say it's Somali tradition.
yeah.
It was their tradition. I'll say that.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion,
Okay.
in the most funniest way possible. Man, wow. Just had to take a little minute.
Go
But
for it.
like I said, not being able to say no was probably one of the things that really put me in that route. Honestly, and I can't say, it's not their fault. It's me because there's so much, I feel like if I was to go back in that position, I would I go any differently? Probably not.
Mm.
Why? Because I learned a lot through it.
So what happened like what happened in that time? Your mom came and told you,
Yeah.
hey, you wanna
She,
get married? And
obviously, I was like, I don't want to, I like to make you guys happy. Their happiness is very important to me, like I said. So I was like, I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. I just said I would like to make you guys happy.
whatever you say, basically whatever you guys want, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
That's what it means, right?
Inshallah,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then after that, I just kept prolonging it for as long as I could.
Oh, you're just pushing it back.
Yeah, I kept pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. That's why I went to college. So when I went to college, that was part of the reason why I got depressed.
Depressed. No, it makes sense because I remember you saying there was something that was bothering me.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that was
Yeah,
bothering me.
because I didn't
Wow.
know how to say no. I guess my backbone was strong enough to say no. Because for my parents, they bring the soft side out of me because I feel like that's how it should be.
I mean, yeah, we should be. It's more like we grow up learning be good to your parents, you know, listen to your parents, and that's all we live through, you know.
Yeah, and I hope that that one day, looking down, that I hope that they feel the exact same way about me as a parent. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
We will never know when that
Mm-hmm.
is. Only
Right.
Allah knows. But so going back, I pushed it for as long as I could. Pushed it for as long as I could. Then finally gave in. I was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, mind you, I went in not knowing how it would go, not knowing her as a person, not knowing her mental.
You're talking about your like ex-partner?
Yes.
Okay.
I went in just not knowing her in general. Really, it kind of just
It was
was.
arranged marriage,
Yeah,
basically.
arranged marriage. And mind you, when I reached about, I prolonged it for as long as I can remember, till I was like 20 years old. Once I was like 20 years old, there was no prolonging it anymore. I was
It's
like,
time.
it's time.
It's finally time.
I was like, let's do it, and I do it. So, mind you, this arranged marriage, it was done in we did. So we did I guess you could say we did two nikah. We did one here, in San Diego, and we did one back at home, Somalia.
Also, your ex-wife was from Somalia.
Yes.
Wow, take me through it, man. The story is getting interesting right now.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I never thought I'd be talking about this on a podcast, but hey, here we are.
I
All
mean,
right. I'm trying to like not disclose too much,
mhm.
but I will say this. Went to Africa, mind you, first time there too.
Oh,
Yeah.
first time in Africa and you're
Yeah.
going to get married.
Mhm.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's definitely something wild. I think I'd be doing that when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to tell myself, I don't want to get married.
Why though?
Why? Cause or was it? No, it was. I would never want to be in an arranged marriage,
Oh,
and then I ended up doing it.
yeah, it's
So
because you wanted to please your parents,
yeah, and it was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it came from a good place.
Right.
My parents came from a good place, so obviously I'm not.
Always, I feel like what they see and what they want for your life is goodness.
Right.
But sometimes it doesn't happen like that,
Exactly.
And we don't blame
Okay.
them for that.
And we get married. I'm there for about 2 months. Man. Then we just, I don't want to say obviously what happened, because obviously what happened in between your marriages, you're
Oh yeah,
supposed
you
to,
just keep it that
keep it a
out.
bit cute.
So all I want to know is, okay, you got married and what happened that you got divorced,
Okay, I got married. And what happened was, when I got divorced, was because I just felt like I was in something, but my heart wasn't in it. And
So
I
it's
feel like,
you feeling like that.
yeah, I feel like, when you do something for someone else, do you really have any base for foundation when it comes to you wanting to do it?
Honestly, sometimes when I do things because my mom tells me to do
Yeah.
it, I'm just like, I'm doing it while I'm pissed off. Dang, man. I swear if it's not for my mom, I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
So you're doing it, but you're not happy about it.
Yeah.
So I guess for you too, it was the same thing, right?
It's not that I wasn't like like I was happy because my mom was happy. But deep down though, and when you look deep inside my heart, I just felt like there was something. There was something like missing. There was something that was like slowly hurting me, because I was trying to make something work when there was no foundation. There was no base for the marriage. It was, like I said, when I talked about relationships, going back to relationships have to have a base. They have to have somewhere where they started off. When you're building architecture, when you're doing like building a house,
Yeah, you
you
have
have
to
to
have a
solid.
pillar, right? It's
Exactly.
everything because the pillar is the base that holds everything together.
Exactly.
So you don't
Exactly.
just build something and it just goes up. You have
Exactly.
to have that pillar, like
Yeah, you have to put the flooring, you have to
everything.
put the wall, the
Yeah.
drywall, all that. Set up the toilets, whatever the case may be, right? That's just with the house. But what I'm trying to get at with that is that applies to a relationship, in my opinion, or a marriage even. Because if you don't have that, you feel like you don't want to go through it. Why? Because you didn't really want it. So when you want something, it's different, because Kaddish,
Yeah, many
Kaddish is
part.
big. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
the Kaddish that you going through, like Kaddish Makabahin,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense where like you feel like you didn't put enough effort. You didn't do this. It wasn't coming from you. It was coming from this, coming from that, coming from the happiness of this, coming from the happiness of that. Man, you start to realize it's not even something you wanted to do. You that's pretty much what happened to me.
It's
I
not
got
something that you wanted.
It's not something that I truly wanted, because if I truly wanted it, I would still be there right now.
Right. And how did you approach to say that, hey, I've tried this and I don't think I can
Man,
move forward with it?
sheesh. How did I do that? Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Well, obviously, given that it was arranged, obviously, the families were somewhat like in on it, right? There was obviously connections and stuff, so I had to really think through it. I didn't
Was it like
just
wait? Was it an outsider or a family?
uh family basically, like like someone family knows,
Okay, okay.
like it's like
Close
some,
family, I would
yeah,
say,
close
or
family,
yeah.
like something, but like what I'm saying, and it just got to that point, man, where I was trying everything in my power to make something work because I didn't want to see my family fall apart.
So what is it that made you think that this is not working? Is it the person that you didn't like, or is it the behaviors you didn't like, or is it like there's no love, there's
Hmm.
no getting to know them? What
Hmm.
is it? Just give me one specific thing that you feel like this is the main point that made me not want to be there.
There was no love.
Love.
Love, I feel like if you're in a marriage with no love, is
It's
that even
like
really a marriage?
it's like food without salt.
Exactly. It's like
Right.
food without chicken without seasoning. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? Like,
Everything has to go with something.
exactly. Everything has to
To go with
pair. It
something.
goes along with it. So yeah, people, what do they say? They say,
Again, it's an arranged marriage.
right,
Arranged marriage doesn't come
right,
with love.
right, right.
You build it through.
Yeah, but what do people say? They say, oh, marriage is not, doesn't, love marriage is not good. They say, what, arranged marriage is better. And then they say you're supposed to build a love after marriage. Why is it that there can't be both? Where you get to know somebody
It's true.
and then you fall in love and yeah, of course that love isn't going to be forever. Just like the attraction isn't going to be there forever. But what are you doing when it comes to that? You know what I mean? Attraction, man, like it does play a factor, but obviously as you get older, what is that attraction gonna do for you? Nothing. You're left with what? Personality. You're left with love. You're left with, just that foundation, that startup. So that being said, that was probably the biggest thing that I like on your question.
Hmm.
That was probably the biggest thing. The fact that I didn't love her because I didn't. I feel like not only was I hurting myself, but I was hurting her. Because I feel like that deep down, if you don't love somebody,
Hmm.
let's say you guys have, obviously marriage isn't flying colors.
Of course.
Marriage isn't something that just happens.
Hmm.
Marriage is something that isn't. You gotta like work towards it. You gotta like have a balance. You
Hmm.
could argue. You could have fights. You could
Everything
have a little.
comes in it.
There's no such thing as just a marriage being happy all the time. At some point, someone's gonna break.
Of course. You know, one thing I know for sure is marriage is not perfect.
Right there.
And sometimes you won't find somebody you really want. Okay, let me give you a number, right? Let's say you want somebody to have all the aspects that you want 100%,
Okay.
but it's not easy to get that.
Right.
You'll get 80%,
Yeah.
and 20% is like something that you don't like.
Right. Exactly.
So it's either you work with that or keep on trying.
Man.
And the next one that you're gonna try is not gonna be 100%. So that's why a lot of people are still married, is because they have learned to accept the person the way they are,
Exactly.
you know? And as they say, the grass is not greener
On
on
the
the
other
other.
side.
Exactly,
Got you. Got you. Okay. I like that. I like that.
yeah. So
Man.
how do you
So,
come up to like, hey, I feel like I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I want to like tell my mom. I want to tell the woman. And how did she react?
oof, man. Dude, that's touchy. That's a touchy
Y-
ass topic.
You were like, would you like to go deep or?
I could go a little deeper in
Yeah.
that because it's not something that's gonna harm her image or
Hmm.
anything, or my mom, anything. So it's pretty simple. Obviously being in that once I figured I didn't love her, it was just like, you know, what went through my head was like, look, would you want her to be with somebody that loves her? I was thinking in my mom's perspective. I feel like even though they have traditions, they have culture where they're like, oh, it doesn't matter, right? They think that at first, but I mean,
You know, let's talk. I'm just gonna talk about the Somali culture, right?
okay,
They have a lot of times where they'll be like, "Hey, I know this family. Oh, I know my brother's daughter, right? I just wanna get you married to her,
right,
and you guys will grow up together and love each other. You know, they feel like, is this gonna work because it happened to them and it worked for them?
uh,
And honestly, for most of us, it doesn't work like that. You know,
right,
talking about myself, right? I'm married, and thank God, my mom and my dad were people who were like, "Hey, go do yourself, you know, just bring somebody. We're not gonna tell you who to marry. We're not gonna tell you, you know, we don't want to be associated with your relationship. We
right,
want you to bring the person you want to be with, because they know love is not given.
exactly,
Love is found, you know. You
exactly,
have to find love.
exactly,
And most of the parents out there, especially the Somali parents, right, and all they think about is, you guys are gonna get along. You guys are, you know, are gonna build a relationship as
right,
you go. But that's not how it works. And it works for other people too. So it's 50-50, you know?
right.
So
Damn.
tell me about the moment you broke down. I know you've been thinking, oh, how is she gonna feel that there's somebody who doesn't love her and she's with them, right?
Yeah, I was getting to that
Mm-hmm.
point where it's crazy how like the question that it literally correlates to what I was gonna say.
Right.
So obviously, yeah, I thought of my mom, and I was like, how would this affect her? I mean, already I'm in it, right? But I also think, is it really like sometimes, like I said, growing up, people pleaser, please, is it not? Is it so bad to want to actually help yourself at some point? Because I feel like if I was to stay in it, I feel like I'd be like somebody who's dead inside. I really feel like I would have, because why? I didn't love a person. And then eventually I'd get angry. Eventually, what happens when you get angry? You
You
say
start
things you
acting.
don't mean.
Mm-hmm.
When you say things you don't mean, then what happens next? You get mad. You say something, and that something that you say could be so messed up, and you don't mean it. But you said it. Why? Because you're angry. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be that guy who was like, I don't love you, so I'm gonna be this fucked up person to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be messed up to you. I want to be the asshole. I don't want to be that guy. I want you to find somebody who's gonna, you know, ku ihtiramayo, you know, or ku ja'lanayo,
Right.
everything. The marriage has so many factors in it. You got to think about not just the foundation, not just the love, not just the attraction. You got to think about that other person that you're with. Because why?
Yeah.
You're wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
And that time that you're wasting is what? Time that something else could happen. A blessing could be of her, like to her. And
Right.
she wouldn't have seen it. Why? Because she's stuck in this marriage. So you got,
Sometimes it's good to let people free
yeah,
than to keep them in a
yeah,
cage where they're not gonna
yeah.
go anywhere, you know?
I could have stayed in it.
Mm-hmm.
I could have stayed in that marriage and be like, just have her just there, trapped in it. And but all reality is, would she really be able to flourish if she was stuck in that marriage?
No,
No.
no.
Just to set that person free, it's better that way, because at that point she could find somebody who's gonna respect her, who's gonna love her, who's gonna cherish her,
And
who's
you're not
gonna,
wasting her
and I'm
time,
not
and not
wasting
you're
her
not
time,
wasting your time.
and I'm not wasting my
Everyone is
time.
gonna go on their way and
Everyone,
find
it's a win-win situation.
true.
Versus I kept her around, and then she's just what, laying around, just being my wife, and treat her like trash or whatever because of how I feel. That's not right. We're all human beings. We all have hearts.
Right.
We need to realize that the heart is such a big part of us, because without a heart, you would have no personality. You'd
True.
have, no life in general. You know what I'm saying?
That's absolutely true. Heart is all we got. You know?
Exactly.
Once we're broken in here,
Mm-hmm.
nobody can fix us, you know?
Exactly.
And it's deep.
You could put bandages.
Right.
What bandages is
You
gonna
know, they
do?
say a heart is like a broken glasses. Once you break it, you cannot patch them together, you know? So that's what we take care of it, because once you have somebody, you want to cherish that, you know, person, so that you don't break them. There's people who are broken and it's hard for them to be the same as they used to be. You know, it's hard for them to trust people again. It's hard for them like to be themselves again, you know? So this heart we're given is just like it endures a lot.
Exactly.
And that's why it's this one, you know, and it bits. Once it stops, you're not there anymore.
Exactly.
So take care of people's heart. Don't break them.
Exactly.
Do not break someone's heart, because that's all they got.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. But yeah, that's pretty much my story about how
So you decided to let that be free and you want to move on with
move
something
on with my
else.
life, have her move on with her life, possibly have, a family of her own. I mean, don't get me wrong. I care about the girl. She's not, she's not somebody who oh, I'm not gonna sit here and say I hate her. No, I
Right,
don't
right.
hate her.
Of course, of course.
I wish her nothing but the best in life.
Always. And how
Always.
do your mom react?
Not well, of course, because culture is such a they're so used to certain things. But then later on, I actually had a conversation with my mom, and like it's crazy because she had brought it up to me in a sense, and it was like, I understand why it is that you did what you did before. I never understood it before, but now I understand it now. And now that she understands it, it just made me happy because I was really like, wow, my mom finally understands. For a while, I was looked at somebody who just was the bad guy. I was looked at as somebody who just didn't want to budge, didn't want to listen. Somebody who was just being stubborn, hard headed. Man, I hated being looked at in that image because it's like they don't see what's going on inside of me. They don't see what's going on over there. They don't see what's happening between me and her. You know. So the fact that they just automatically assumed it's me, it's just kind of crazy.
True. And tell me about right now. Are you still people pleaser, or do you change from that, or
Man.
you grew up from that?
Yes and no. I'll start with the yes. Yes, I still am because obviously my parents' happiness is still a good thing, right? And then no would be because I learned how to say no. It's just plain and simple, but I could elongate that for you too.
Right.
Let's elongate it
You
actually.
know, saying no, it's a very hard thing for people
It
pleasers.
is.
And sometimes, something's gonna hurt you, but you have to say yes. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, I have it. Okay, I'll send it to you, you know? Why is it hard for people to say, hey, I don't have it right now? Hey, I can't do it right now. Why is it hard?
It's a guilt. It's more of a guilt thing. 'Cause I feel like, in my opinion, it's more of a
So
guilt.
you rather do something that's gonna hurt you more than something that is gonna, make that person hurt, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you hurt yourself, in my opinion, if you're better off hurting yourself than hurting someone else. Because why? And it's crazy.
But that's not how it works. A
It's
lot of
not how
people
it
say,
works.
hey, put yourself first.
Yeah,
No matter what,
yeah,
your mental is very important.
yeah. But
You have to sustain yourself
right.
to be happy, not making people happy,
But then there's also that aspect where it's like, yo, like you're better off hurting yourself than hurting somebody else.
Now, you still
Because
being
I
a
don't want to
people
put I don't want to
honesty.
put them I don't want to put them through the problem with what I'm dealing with. I'd rather just deal with it myself and push forward. I still do, like, obviously, like I said, people pleaser, like I said, yes and no for a reason. But obviously the fact that I learned how to say no, it definitely changed my whole perspective in
Right.
life. We used to know our whole life, respect your elders. That's what we're
Always.
taught. Respect our elders, right? But what we're not told is, uh, because our parents, some parents don't even know this, and they have trouble even understanding it, is that even like there's certain things that were said, like in the deen, that it says to respect your elders, right? It doesn't say obey. it says respect. It doesn't say obey in the
True.
Quran.
Right.
It
That's
says
true. And actually, that's true because the Quran tells you and be
yeah.
good to your parent, more like
I can even
respect
tell you
them.
the term. It's
Mm.
bir.
Birrul walidain, right?
Yeah.
Yes, be a good kid,
Exactly.
basically. But sometimes you can't. But you can't obey
Yeah.
everything they say.
Exactly.
Just because
Sometimes
someone is your mom or dad. How about they tell you to like steal? You know,
exactly.
you're not gonna steal.
Exactly.
How about if they tell you to like throw yourself in the mountain?
Okay,
You
give
know,
me more of a realistic example of something your parents would tell you
that I'm not gonna do. Maybe
that you're not gonna do, or not even not gonna do, but something that like they would tell you to do that you don't want, that you can't do, or something that you don't want to do.
if my parents just be like, hey, I think maybe telling me to steal.
Okay,
Of course, I'm not gonna do it. You know,
of course.
because I know the what do you call it? I know the end result of it. You know, basically, my whole point is just because my parents says it doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. Because everything has circumstance, you know, and I don't think it's gonna be right just to do everything they say. There is good things
Yeah,
that you do, and there's
yeah,
things that don't make sense. You don't have to do it.
yeah. It's okay to even as us, like, don't get me wrong, we're never gonna be have that, what's that word, the experience that they have
Mm-hmm.
and growing up, because they're older than us.
Yeah.
They have more experience, yes. And I'm not saying that they're not smarter than us or anything like that. Just have to clarify. But I will say that it's okay to advise them if they're going the wrong way, because sometimes they might lose sight of what's actually correct and what they know.
Right.
They go after what they know versus what actually says. Like, for example, let's just say, let me think. Uh, Braids.
Like hair braiding.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's allowed. It's allowed in the Deen.
Yeah,
You
technically,
know,
there's
to
people who say yes,
yeah,
there's people who say no. You
yeah.
know.
It's allowed.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's in the Deen. The Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he had braids. He had, I think, he had four going backwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he had long hair,
Right.
and so
But not the way people are doing it right now. You know,
of
people are
course
just overdoing it.
overdoing it. Yes, and that's
You're
bad.
trying to get yourself to a woman's,
That's bad.
position.
That's
Right.
bad, right?
There is a way to do it, and there was a reason to do it
Yeah,
at that moment.
right.
I don't think it's the way people are doing it right now.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly what I was gonna get at.
Mm.
So our parents, they say, "Oh no, it's not good. Wahan gibra samaya, gibdo samaya wahan."
Right.
Why they say that? Because they say Markios asismenai. It was waqti or heli or war wujiri.
Yeah. And he didn't want the hair to disturb him, You
Exactly.
can understand that, when
Yeah.
you have long hair and you are in battle, right? You are,
Yeah.
in a war.
Yeah.
Of course, you want to do something that is gonna stay intact.
But
But-
I mean,
right
nonetheless, he
now-
still did it.
I know.
That's what I'm trying to get
Everything that he did is sunnah, true.
at. Nonetheless,
right?
he still did it.
True.
So it should be
And
allowed regardless.
Honestly, I'm not
But
gonna argue about it because I don't mind people who do it, And the
Uh-huh.
thing is the way you do it.
Right. My point in all that, it's a cultural thing. It's not a Deen thing, because the Deen actually allows you to do
You're
that.
right.
It's the culture that doesn't. Some places they might be okay with it. You can go to a place where they do certain braids, and you go there, they're not gonna look at you any different. They're gonna be like, okay, everybody has it like that. It's normal.
Wow.
You know?
Talking about din, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your religion.
Okay.
Tell us about your religion.
Man, I mean, what else? Pretty much, I'm Muslim, obviously. Believe one God. Believe he sent prophets, one message, to deliver the same message all throughout the years. This is just my perspective of it. And Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his messenger.
Sallallahu.
And well, my deen, obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the best in the deen.
And no one is.
No one is.
Everyone has something, and that's why God wants us to go back to Him every time.
Exactly. But alhamdulillah, I pray myself. I make sure that, whatever I do with, good intention and patience. Sabr.
Patience, very important.
Sabr is one of the biggest things I'll tell
What's
you.
one thing that came with patience for you in your life?
Walidin,
What is that?
parents.
Mm.
Literally, like, just like walidin ta.
Mm.
Or, how do I say this? Like, what called akhbala, like, even that. Sometimes you may think they're saying things out of despite. You have to have patience.
Patience is very important.
Patience is
Very,
very
very
important.
important.
Anything you do, even marriage.
Of course. Fasbir sabran jamila, you know?
Exactly.
And then, just
Yeah.
because they say, be patient, because patience is good
Yeah.
and something good comes out of it. Don't rush into things. Don't think that everything is ended for you.
Mhm.
Just continue having patience and working on yourself, you know?
Mhm.
What's one thing that you love about Islam?
Man, what I love about Islam, man.
I know it's a lot, but I
There's
just want
so
one
many
thing.
things I could say right
I know it's a
now.
lot. That's why I say it. I know it's a lot.
Dang.
Just
You
one
gonna
thing
make
that you
me
love.
choose one?
Just one thing.
Okay. One thing I love is just uh that they pretty much narrowed down how to live your life the way that prophets led their life. They narrowed it down so you basically have the guide to Jannah.
Oh,
You can't get anything better than that.
Allah, that's true.
You really can't. I don't think you can.
I feel like Islam is the only religion that simplified a whole aspect of life in one book.
Absolutely.
If you're talking about wealth, it's in the book,
Sah.
Quran. If you're talking about marriage, it's in the Quran.
Naam.
If you're talking about war, it's in the Quran.
Right.
I don't care whatever you think about, just go look in the Quran and it gives you answers. So I feel like when you follow the Quran, that's a simple life that you're gonna live, and everything, every answer every question you
Yeah.
have, it's
Uh-huh.
already answered in the Quran.
Right.
Just the only thing is we don't go back to it.
Yeah.
But everything is in there,
Everything is in there.
Yeah.
One, yes. And then that's why, bro, Ilahi gave us a way to also get what we want in this in the deen as well. Salah.
Alhamdulillah.
Salah istikhara. For example, when you're confused and don't know what you want to choose or what you want to do.
That's why I said everything is simplified in the Holy Quran, No
Exactly.
matter what you're going through, there is something in there for you.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And that's, we're not gonna sit here and criticize other people's religion.
Exactly.
We respect people,
Yes.
no matter how, if it's Jew, if it's Christian, if
Yeah.
the way of life is what they chose.
Yes.
Because us as Muslims, we believe that Islam is the only way.
Yes.
And for them, they believe that Christian is the only way.
Yeah.
Everyone is like, I'm right. But we
Yeah.
know the truth,
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that's why you try to guide others.
The
to
only
go.
thing I think we live in America right now.
Right.
And there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
You're Somali, right?
Right.
There's a lot going on in the Somali community.
Yes.
With the American people.
Right.
And does that affect you as a Somali? Or
Man, I don't.
are you not Somalian, bro? Are you an American? Or?
Hey, listen, man. Just because I wasn't born in Somalia doesn't mean I'm not Somali. I feel like obviously I'm. You could say, I guess, I don't really care what anybody thinks. They will call me to say wallahi, and I don't care.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that, bro. I have a whole chapter about that.
Oh man.
But right now, I
Oh,
wanna
man.
know, like, does that affect you as a Somali, especially with whatever that's going on in Minnesota? The fraud thing.
Yeah.
Somalis are known for like a lot of bad stuff in America, especially. So does that affect you as a person?
It doesn't affect me.
Okay.
It doesn't affect me
Why is
because
that?
why it doesn't affect me is because of the simple fact that I don't really indulge in those type of things.
Of course.
So as long as you don't indulge in them, then you're good.
Honestly, that's true. And what I'm gonna say is, just because one person did it or a few people did it doesn't mean the whole community is to be blamed for that, you know?
Exactly.
So let's know how to give everyone their mistakes and not say because it's a Muslim, so we say all the Muslims, you know? You know what I mean? If one person did it, doesn't mean the whole community did it.
Exactly. It's just like there's so many different types of Muslims. Like I feel like a lot of people that generalize what.
Not it's not a lot of people. I feel like it's the most American people. You know,
Yeah.
when a Christian does something, they don't go and say a Christian man in America did this. You know,
Right.
they'll say, "Oh, Charles the First went and shot school." You know,
Right.
and they'll say he has depression, this and that and that. Okay, when it's a Muslim, they'll be like, "A Muslim man." They're not even gonna say a name. A Muslim man
Did this.
they're gonna say a Muslim terrorist did
Yeah,
this and that and that.
exactly.
So they like to generalize, you know, the Islamic name in a bad way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I feel like why don't we just call people out for what they did instead of calling the whole generation, you know?
Right. I feel like that would make things a lot
Easier,
easier in
right?
the world in general. Anything in life actually would be so much easier at that point.
Honestly, I'm going back to say wallahi thing.
Okay.
You're a Somalian, right?
Yes.
Born in America, right?
Yes.
What do you guys call the Somalis from Somalia FOBs? For those people who don't know, FOBs is fresh off the boat, right?
Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe I might be a FOB.
We
I was born in
might-
Kenya, bro. So I might be a FOB, but I don't know. What do you guys call them? Do you say FOBs or FOBs? Or what do you say?
I don't really say FOBs. I try not to even indulge in those type of comments.
Nice. So why does your like
People,
peers do that? You know, the
my
people
peers,
who
I
the
don't even consider
American
them my peers because some of them are just horrible people. Some of them just deal with so much like hate. They deal with they do things that not normal Somalis would do.
You know, damn, they call you guys say wallahi.
Yeah.
And you guys call them FOBs.
Yes.
So it's more like everyone is looking down on someone
Yeah,
on
exactly.
their own way, you know?
Yeah.
Can you just explain to me maybe in a simple way, why do they call them that?
I feel like they call people those Somalis who were actually born in Somalia FOBs because obviously they have a like the mindset is not the same as
Fresh off the boat.
their mindset is not the same as somebody
Right.
who's a supposedly say wallahi, right? Someone who's a say wallahi, they have a different mindset because they're not from there, so they
Of course, and it can be, you know?
yeah.
And do you guys think you guys are better than them?
Well, at least I don't think so. At least I can speak for myself.
Generally.
Generally,
Right.
I don't think I'm better than them,
Nice.
but I don't think they're better than me either.
From what I've seen
Yeah.
out there, right?
Yeah.
I lived in America for almost 8 years, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking
Uh-huh.
about how people look down on those Somalis
Uh-huh.
from there.
Right.
You know, you'll see a girl from here, right?
Right.
They're like, oh shit, I can't even be with a, FOB.
Right.
Those people disgust me, you know? And those guys from there, Somali people, Haran, say, well, yeah, Shan, bro. We're alright. You know, they don't even know how to take care of themselves. They barely know how to cook and stuff. So it's more like it's a collusion, you know? Everyone is trying to defend their end. And I don't know. You know what? I was talking to my brother one day, right?
Okay.
And was talking about how these Somali people compare themselves. And he brought a good topic for me. He was like, bro, if you get a mango from Somalia and bring it to America, right?
Mhm.
And get a mango from America and put it together and show it to people, what people gonna say?
They're probably gonna go for the one that's from the.
They on it. What I'm trying to say is they all look the same.
Yes, they look the same,
They look the same.
but they taste different.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to taste it first. I'm talking about the visual. Hey, I got 2 mangoes. What do you think? You know about? Will you say them both mango? Or you say this looks like apple mango and this one looks like
Mm-hmm.
What's your first answer when I show you 2 things that look similar? Basically, is if I take you right now and if I take a guy from Somalia
Right.
and put you guys together, when a white man comes, they'll say, "Oh, look at those Somalians."
Yeah.
You know, he won't be able to differentiate you.
Of course.
He won't say that you're from here. He
Yeah.
won't say that, you know. So the main point is those two mangoes. Nobody can say they are from. Basically, a mango is a mango, regardless
Yeah.
of where it came
Right.
from.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's just the part of country it came from. You know, so I don't think there's any difference. And to all the say wallahis who like were born here, I'm telling you this right now, you're not better than a person who comes from Somalia. And to all Somalians, I'm telling them they're not better than people who were born here. You
Right.
know,
Right.
it's you guys are the same.
Yeah.
When you look at the roots, you guys are
Yeah.
everything. We're all the same, basically. I don't
Nobody's
know why I say
better.
you guys.
It doesn't
We're all
have
the
to
same.
be. Why does it have to be somebody's better than the other? Why does it have to be
Why
there?
can't we just
Why-
live a life where everyone is the same?
Equal.
This okay. I respect how you are. Respect me how I am. You know.
Exactly.
Why should we call names? You know.
Yeah.
It's fun though. It's funny.
It's the same
sometimes.
thing with I don't know if I should go into it, but
Go.
Khabil.
Somalia Khabil, bro. It's bad.
It's
something
bad.
that it's really in there. To all Somalis I've talked to,
Yeah.
right? They all mention Khabil, by the way.
Right.
They say one thing about Somalians that's killing them
It's
is
Khabil.
tribalism.
Right.
And I don't think that thing is gonna go away.
Right.
Never.
And it's bad. It's bad out. I remember.
People see that like white people are racist. Wallahi, these Khabilist people are way racist. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Way racist.
Way more racist. Yeah.
Way more racist than even these white people.
Right.
There's these Somalis who are like look down on other Somalians who have the same skin, bro.
Right.
That's crazy.
And so, literally, I remember I talked to my dad because this was actually funny. So I was like, I think I had asked him. I was like, Dad, I went up to him. I was like, Dad, what's my Khabil? Like, like in depth. He told me it, which I can't. I don't remember even all of it right now. That's how you know I don't really use it. All I know is two things: Rahamr, Shanshi. Rahamr is not even a Khabil really. It's just like technically the correct term is apparently Ayal Hamr. Basically, you're just children of
I know
the
what you
family.
mean.
Yeah,
Right.
basically, right? And then he was telling me, he's like, so why? I was like, somebody asked you? And I was like, yeah, somebody asked me. And I was like, why? And I honestly, I got curious. So I was like, I wanted to know what my dad had to think about this Khabilis stuff. Why? I asked him, I said, Baba, why do people, use Khabil as a way to fight each other? Why? Like, what's the whole purpose of Khabil in general, right? My dad, day, he said, Handan wa akonsi. Akonsi wahun kadigan. Aside, wala. Straight up.
That's true.
Because it's all about just knowing who you're from, where you're from, like knowing your family, your lineage. That's all it is.
I know, but the way people are the way people are presenting it is like, hey, I'm this tribe, so we are greater. Your great grandparents used to work for us, so you guys are nothing in front of me.
Yeah,
That's basically. Let me break down how tribalism works, right?
okay.
It's not about looks. It's not about color. It's not about money. It's all about what their great grandparents used to do. You know, let's say my great grandparents used to be like good, like rich people, and your peoples used to work for them. So what I look at is, hey, you used to work for my family, so you can't tell me anything. Basically, I'm looking you down just because you what your family did, which doesn't make sense, right?
It's stupid.
They say you guys used to like wash our poops and everything.
Yeah,
and
but
today
like-
you want to stand with me and sit with
Why
me.
does it have to be
That's
into
crazy,
depth? Why does it have to get to that point?
Islam put these things easy.
Yes.
Allah says we've created all mankind in different so that you guys get to know each other.
Right.
So there's no one. Black is not better than white, and white is not better than brown, and brown is not better than
exactly.
black. Basically,
All
we're all the
equal.
same. We're all bleed the same.
Exactly.
If you have different blood, then I'll say that you are above me, you know? But if you have, when you cut yourself and you have red blood, bro, we're all the same. I don't care where you're from. I don't care how much money you have. As simple as that, you know? No one is above anyone. We're all human beings, you know? Yes, there is that sometimes people have more money than you, people have more people than you, but it doesn't mean that we should look down upon each other, you know?
Okay. So I have an opinion on it, Khabil, myself,
Right.
right? What is something, actually, I'm going to ask you a question. What is something that you would tell to your viewers or even in general, just what is some, like, when it comes to Khabil, like, how would you go, like, tell them how to go about it to where, like, harm or, like, or whatever, like, how would you word it so that it doesn't, like, cause harm or anything like that?
Honestly, what I'm gonna say is get to know your lineage, get to know your background,
Mm-hmm.
but don't look yourself better than anyone. As
Okay.
simple as that, you know?
How should they take Khabil? Like, how should everybody in life take Khabil as?
Just like the white people do it.
Okay.
They get to know the ancestry. They get to
Mm-hmm.
know, oh, I have 5% of, I don't know, from London, I don't know, 5% from Nigeria,
Right.
and they get to know it, but it doesn't make them better than anybody. So it's for your knowledge. Know your roots, know where you came from.
Right.
And don't go by what your people used to do, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Let's put tribalism on the side.
So,
Let's put humanity
okay.
first,
Okay.
and that's, it's not gonna affect you, you're just gonna
Exactly.
be a normal person.
Yeah.
If I know that I'm from a great lineage, good people, I'm not gonna sit here and feel like, hey,
You're
I'm
not
the
gonna brag
man,
about it, right?
yeah, because we have to know that no matter what in this world, one day you will go, I will go, and everyone else will go. So your money, your, I don't know, luxury life is not gonna stay with you forever.
Right.
Stop looking down on people. Everyone in this life has a path that they have to go through. Just because you made it doesn't mean that you're better than people,
Right. Man.
What do you think?
That shit. Perfect.
As simple as that, right?
Simple as that. I
Perfect.
would that's literally what I would say too. I would literally tell them, hey, don't look at, like, literally look at Khabir for what it is. Don't
Learn. Get to learn yourself.
learn your lineage, but don't use that to take over other
And the Quran
people's.
already told you, as we said, Quran has everything. We have created mankind in different forms so that they get to know each other.
Exactly.
Let's talk about happiness. Are you happy at this moment of your
I
life?
feel like I am happy, but I could be happier. And you could always, you could never be too happy, Just move forward, just keep pushing. Because life, you know, you're not always, you're not always gonna be like happy, happy. I feel like nobody's ever really just happy in life. And if you're happy in life, hey, props to you. So,
What do you mean I'm happy, but I could be happier?
what I mean by that's very simple. Obviously I'm happy, but obviously I could be happier, meaning that there's so much more that I could achieve to reach that more happiness,
Happiness, true. Is there something that you want to achieve and you don't have it right now?
or just, just uh to like to really do something big with this barber career.
Props to that, and I hope you continue, like, flourishing, you know, getting to have a lot of customers.
Mm.
And you talk to a lot of people,
Yes, I
right?
do.
Can you tell me a moment where somebody sat down and, give me a crazy story, like, or something that touched you with your customers?
Man, um, I guess I had a moment. where I was cutting somebody's hair, and I took my time. I made sure I did the cut good, everything, you know. He asked me to cut it down to this length. That's what I did. I put on that guard, and I was like, okay, I did my best. I showed him the cut, showed him the mirror. I said, hey, look at the cut. What do you think? He goes, man, thank you. I appreciate it, right? But then, so the thing is, the owner of the shop that I was working at decides to go ahead and ask a question about the cut that I did because she wanted to get feedback. So she asks a question, and he points out something from the cut, right? And my opinion, I feel like I didn't do wrong because I showed him the cut and he said he liked it at the time. And I made sure because I know at the end of the day, if you don't you know, if you don't make sure of anything, how can you really everything you do, you have to do it all the way. You can't do it half. You gotta do it all the way. You gotta go all in. So yeah, that's what happened. And he had apparently he had like a little like a patch, right? But my thing is, I didn't have no mishap. The guard was still on. I just, I cut his hair and I did the cut and he said he liked it. And then all of a sudden he goes back home and he's like, oh, ah, da, da, now he wants to get a free haircut.
And that is gonna bring you back to expectation. Remember when we said, who told you that just expect disappointment?
Yeah.
You remember that? The same thing, this one. You were expecting somebody to be happy
Yeah.
from your service, right?
Yeah.
And what happens? They got disappointed. Which disappointed you
It disappointed me, of course.
because of their review, and they were not open
Absolutely.
to you, like, hey, bro, I think you did something.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of
But in that moment,
expectation.
he was happy though.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
That's what really confused me.
And you see, you never expected somebody who was happy at the chair
Yeah.
is gonna go home and just be someone else,
And my thing is, like I said, I feel like personally, this is my opinion. I feel like his hair growth was that way. The way his hair grew kind of just caused it to look like that. Maybe he could have had a cowlick in his head, which causes his hair to go in a different direction. I never really noticed it. It could be my fault, but it also could be the way his hair grows. We'll never really know. But I mean, to say that's a common mistake. That's
True.
That's something that anybody can do. Any barber can make a mistake. I mean, at the end of the day, we're in charge of making somebody go from looking rough and or homeless or whatever
To be somebody
to
who
be
really,
somebody who's actually popping and
right. With that,
spiffy.
a hair loss is something that's really affecting a lot of men out there.
Okay,
Is there something that maybe you want to share with people?
hair loss.
Hair loss, yeah.
I mean, hair loss could be of many things. Genetics, hair loss. Man, genetics can take a big part. If you got genetics that were where your family, your lineage is balding, stuff like that. So sometimes you're destined for it, yeah. But I mean, there is stuff you can do to obviously regain hair growth, such as oils. The two proven oils to help with hair growth are minoxidil and finasteride. Those are the two. Those are the two main things. And with those, you can basically regrow hair. It's scientifically proven.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it helps.
It helps, but there's side effects to it.
Oh, what is it?
Minoxidil has a side effect where it'll work, but you have to be consistent
Mm-hmm.
and you can't stop.
Okay.
Once you stop, it's probably gonna go back to the way it was
Oh, so there's
or
nothing
regress.
there's nothing that can work permanently.
I think it's more of just like a trial and error. See what works for your hair. You can use oils that are essentially good for your hair: coconut oil, Jamaican black castor oil, any sorts, rosemary. I don't know. I think I already said that. I don't know if I did, but yeah. Overall, just
So what's the side effect of the other one that you said?
uh, I believe it's, I think, erectile dysfunction. I think.
Really?
I think so.
What's the name of that thing? So that we don't use
Finasteride.
it.
Finasteride.
Was it? What is it?
Finasteride.
Finasteride.
But though I'm not, I'm kind of like weary about that one. I would say do your research, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, it
Can you say
has
that again for the viewers? Yeah, bro. People have to
like
be cautious, right?
erectile dysfunction.
Tell them, okay, this thing causes this.
Finasteride for sure can be the cause of, problems down below.
Wow. Tell them openly. Can you tell me the name? I'll say it for you.
What?
The name of the thing?
Finasteride.
Finasteride.
Yes,
Finasteride can cause erectile dysfunction, right?
I believe so.
Which means you want to get your hair back, but you lose your main important thing.
Probably.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
it
Is
is
that even
crazy.
legal?
Apparently, it's scientifically tested, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's not for certain. It can cause it. You know how there is. We have medications that have a bunch
It
of
doesn't work good with
drugs.
our bodies.
Medications. They're all just drugs at the end of the day. They have side effects, but sometimes those side effects don't take place. Depends on your body type. Depends on all that stuff. How your body handles it. That's why I said trial and error. Sometimes it may happen to that one person, but it may not happen to that other person. It may actually work for that person.
Right.
So yeah,
One advice to all men on how to take care of their hair.
it's simple. If you're African, I could tell you just wash it, take care of your hair, shampoo, condition twice a week. Make sure that the shampoos that you're using have no sulfate, because there's some people that like to take showers every day, and just be careful. Just and make sure you take care of your hair, oil it, style it, groom your hair. Even in I will say this, even in Dean it says to groom yourself. Take care of
Cleanliness.
yourself, clean yourself. 40 days, shave your armpits. Shave all that
Uh-huh.
shit.
Stay clean. Yeah,
Yeah, stay
cleanliness is
clean,
part of your
cleanliness.
lives.
Yeah.
True. And man, when it gets to this point in my podcast, I like to give my guest an opportunity, right? To
Okay.
ask me maybe a 2 or 1 question. Because we've talked a lot. They got to know you.
Yeah.
I don't know, we've talked a lot. We went from
We
family, we went
yeah.
from marriage, we went from a lot of stuff, right? I like to give people an opportunity
Okay.
to get to ask me either 1 or 2 questions.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. One question.
Yeah.
Did you always see yourself doing this right here?
This is a question every guest asks me.
No
I
way.
swear, bro. They ask me in a different way though. Oh, why did you start this? How do you start it? But your question is, did I ever see myself doing it? Right?
Yeah.
This is something I dream about, bro. I'm still dreaming, I'm still dreaming about it right now. Can you believe that? I'm
Wow.
still dreaming myself doing it bigger
Wow.
than this.
Wow.
No, it's something that I love. It's something that I've been wanting to do it. If I tell you my story about starting a podcast, right? It didn't just start right now. It's something that I've been wanting it. I talk to my friends. We need to what do I need to get started with? It's something that since 2020 I've been planning to do it, but I didn't want to start because I wanted to make sure I have everything that I need to get started.
Okay.
So it's something that I've been wanting, and I still want to do it bigger and better.
Damn.
Yeah,
Jeez.
man. Sometimes you just gotta do it, bro. This life we have is just taking, risk, taking steps, and getting to find yourself in many ways.
Okay. Let me ask you another one. This one might be a little interesting.
Go for it, man. There's no
What's
restriction here.
okay? What is the hardest thing that you think comes with this? Like something that makes something so hard for you to do this. What's something that's blocking you from doing this or stopping you from doing this, achieving your goal?
That's a good question. One thing I'll say right now is I have the time. I have the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I have everything I need, honestly. It's just that we just gotta be honest, right? It
Mm-hmm.
comes to financial. It's
Right.
something that when you're starting something,
Right.
people might assume that you're getting paid and you're getting money, a lot of money out of it, but it doesn't work like that. You have to put money to make money,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And these things, I think you can see the whole studio, right?
Right.
It's a home here,
I
but
like it.
you see how it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Everything is money.
Right.
You know, the camera is expensive, lights are expensive, microphone are expensive. I need a cameraman. You know, I need somebody to edit. Something that's really holding me back is doing it by myself. You know,
Yeah.
I'm one person, but I try to be versatile, you know, be able to do this and that and this. But honestly, I've been doing great right now. I'm trying to work full-time job
Right.
and I'm trying to put some time in here. So it's more like building my daily life and building my career. This is something that I love, you know? This is my hobby. This is something that I want. I see myself doing this my whole life. Honestly, you know? Yeah. I love to talk to people. I love to meet different people. And the Bucket Experience is a place where everyone has an opportunity to talk about their life, to come ask questions. And I don't say this because I'm an expert. I say this because I want to get to know people and people to get to know me, and we help each other throughout.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like that.
I
Well,
think you got your answer,
shit.
huh?
One love,
I
man.
love, bro. And honestly, I had a great time with you. We had a good conversation, bro.
Yes, we did.
One question that I would like to ask before, you know, we end
Okay.
up this thing
All right.
is, are you ever gonna fall in love again and get married again?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course.
I long for that. My heart yearns for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of the right person.
The right person.
Ilahi you know, only
God
Ilahi
knows. That's
knows.
true.
Ilahi khufki hela, you know?
Are
Uh,
you gonna do arranged marriage again?
you know, if it's done the right way, as in like where everything is set properly and I'm actually able to get to know that person, arranged marriage can just mean just bringing somebody up, you know? So like somebody, your parents bring you somebody, you guys just get acquainted, talk to each other, boom, 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 go from there. And if you guys like each other, then continue. That's how it's supposed to go.
Hmm, that's how it's supposed to go. So it's something that you look forward into doing if it happens in the right way, right?
If it happens right away, why not?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, arranged marriages are very beautiful, bro. I won't
Very.
lie because a lot of marriages are successful.
I mean, you know, what I know is what doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it's not gonna work for somebody else.
Exactly.
And what works for somebody else doesn't mean that's gonna work for you. So it's all about you, you know, and your choices.
Right.
You're right. Bro,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, right? One advice that you would like to give to everyone who's watching or listening to this podcast right now.
Anybody who's watching right now, my one advice I'd like to give to you guys, and listen, this is the most simplest thing you're ever gonna hear. Just be open to things. Don't limit yourself to one small thing. Broaden your horizons. Definitely, just explore. Do things that's different. You never know what could possibly happen. Allah knows. So I'd say, just be open, and you never know what happens next.
Be open to new things, be open minded. And I like that. I just want to say, man, it's been an honor for you to be here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your knowledge. I would love to have more conversation with you, you know, in your chair at the barber shop.
Hell yeah! In the future,
Yeah.
I got you, man. Hey, I wanted to say also as well, man. My pleasure. Appreciate you for having me on here. It is my first podcast.
No,
Hopefully, see many more.
hopefully, hopefully.
I definitely enjoyed this experience, bro. It's different. It's definitely something not normal for me. I didn't see myself doing this ever in my life.
Really?
Really, no.
Wow, this is the first time for everything, man.
Yeah, because I'm like, what does a barber want to do a podcast for?
It's not about what you do, it's about what you have to say.
Right.
Podcast is more like a story. People talk, we talk about our lives.
Yeah.
As I said, the bucket experience is more like,
Hmm.
personal experience
Right.
and getting to know people, getting to hear people's
Hell
stories.
yeah.
And I really, yeah, I'm glad, bro, we had to talk, you
Yeah, I
know,
appreciate you and
anytime.
all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see you on tour. Obviously, we will
Mm-hmm.
chop it up some more.
Right.
Good looking out for this opportunity.
Anytime.
Definitely.
For people who want to know where they can find you, maybe go ahead and,
Okay, good.
shout out yourself.
Okay, so I'm pretty much on like most social media platforms: Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, and those are like my main social platforms. I don't be on Twitter, but I don't think that's really necessary. Uh, all my social medias are the same. It's Mo Katz. You can follow me on Instagram, uh, TikTok, add me on Snapchat. I'll be posting more content uh very soon. Hopefully, this is gonna give me that extra exposure that I
Of
need.
course, of
And if
course.
you guys are ever in San Diego, you guys know who to hit up.
Yeah, man,
Tap in, man.
we're actually shooting in San Diego, man. Damn. This is my first shot in America, bro.
Damn,
You're
man.
lucky,
I
yeah?
feel so special, bro.
Man, thank you for the opportunity. And I want to say to all our viewers that, thank you for tuning in. I want to give you more of this. So if you ever feel like you have a story and you want to be on this chair, feel free to reach out. Bucket Experience is for everyone. Thank you so much and see you on our next episode.